Glory America, bonjour, hi Canada. So much to do on this Monday, the first live broadcast of 2021, a new year and a new hope for the rollout of the vaccine, which is progressing so rapidly in Israel. We're up to 4 million people vaccinated already in the United States, and the rollout will gather momentum. However, let's begin. We've got the president's phone call to cover. We got the objections in Congress to cover. We've got a lot of news to cover, but let's begin really with the key moment of the long weekend, cut number 10, Jim Donovan.
Their play clock is running on them. It's down to 12. Third down and 2. Out they come. Higgins comes near side left with Landry. Hodge out wide to the right. Hunt in the backfield. Mayfield takes the snap. He's going to run it to the right. Mayfield turns the corner and got the first down on the right side. He slides inside the 40-yard line. Minka Fitzpatrick tags him down. First down, Browns at the 39-yard line of Pittsburgh. And the clock is running with 52 seconds left to go. It's a first down, and that bench area is starting to feel it right now.
And Baker had the awareness to slide down in bounds.
12,000 are going crazy inside First Energy Stadium. And wherever you are, this is starting to become very, very real that the Browns are going to go to the playoff. They're in victory formation, and Baker Mayfield takes a knee, and the clock will wind down. An amazing story. The Browns will get their 11th win of the year. They'll go to 11-5, and they're going to the playoffs. Unbelievable. What a season. The team's off the sideline, congratulating. They could meet each other next weekend at Heinz Field, and the ball game is over, and the Cleveland Browns have made it into the NFL playoffs for the first time in 18 long years. Wow, what a struggle. The way it should be, I guess, huh? The Steelers came in here. They had already locked up their playoff spot, and yet they played right down to the final gun. A 2-point conversion to tie the game goes as an incomplete pass, and the Browns get a couple of first downs on the next drive, recover the onside kick, and they win. And they're going into the tunnel. And the only thing that's missing, all of you.
Jim Donovan is a legend in Ohio, America. He is a great play caller, and 18 years since those words were spoken, the Browns are going to playoff. My kids were in elementary school, and not one had graduated from high school yet when they last went. I raised two Browns fans, two boys who are Browns fans, a nephew's a Browns fan, a brother-in-law who became a Browns fan. I'm responsible for much agony in many lives. And I've had season tickets for each of the seasons since they returned from exile in 1999. Fetching Mrs. Hewitt has always said, are we buying them again? And the answer is yes, this is the year. Now, they haven't had a playoff game at home yet, but things could work out. So that's the good news. Now we got to go to the bad news. Later today at the Washington Post, my op-ed will appear that suggests I would not vote to object to the certification. It argues, it doesn't suggest. It just says I would not vote for the objection. I would not object to the certification of the Electoral College votes. But neither is it a crisis that some people are going to do so. It just isn't. It's not a crisis. It's not a destruction of democracy. Nor is the president's phone call to the Georgia Secretary of State a crime, an impeachable offense. It's a phone call in which you're going to hear it all. I'm going to play it all so you hear it on the Hugh Hewitt Show. I just want to tell you at the beginning, the TDS has taken so many people. Trump derangement syndrome has just infected so many people, especially in the media. They cannot separate a phone call pleading for a recount, imploring the Secretary of State to do something for a criminal act. It's not. It's being taped. It's just silly. It's like the Ukraine phone call. Just damn silly. But I want you to hear it. We'll also be joined by Selena Zito, Newt Gingrich, Lonnie Chen, Josh Kroshauer, and, of course, Jerry Hendricks. But let's get started with the phone call. Let's get going on it. Cut number 14.
So, Mr. President, everybody is on the line, and just so this is Mark Meadows, the Chief of Staff, just so we all are aware, on the line is Secretary of State and two other individuals, Jordan and Mr. Germany. With him, you also have the attorneys that represent the president, Kurt and Alex, and Cleta Mitchell, who is not the attorney of record but has been involved, myself, and then the president. So, Mr. President, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello, Brad and Ryan and everybody. We appreciate the time and the call. So we've spent a lot of time on this, and if we could just go over some of the numbers, I think it's pretty clear that we won. We won very substantially, Georgia. You even see it by rally size, frankly. We'd be getting 25,000, 30,000 people a rally, and the competition would get less than 100 people, and it never made sense. But we have a number of things. We have at least two or three, anywhere from 250 to 300,000 ballots were dropped mysteriously into the rolls. Much of that had to do with Fulton County, which hasn't been checked. We think that if you check the signatures, a real check of the signatures going back in Fulton County, you'll find at least a couple of 100,000 of forged signatures of people with who have been forged, and we are quite sure that's going to happen. Another tremendous number. We're going to have an accurate number over the next 2 days with certified accountants, but an accurate number will be given, but it's in the 50s of thousands, and that's people that went to vote and they were told they can't vote because they've already been voted for. And it's a very sad thing. They walked out complaining, but the number is large. We'll have it for you, but it's much more than the number of 11,779. That's the current margin is only 11,779. Brad, I think you agree with that, right? That's something I think everyone, at least that's a number that everyone agrees on. But that's the difference in the votes. But we've had hundreds of thousands of ballots that we're able to actually, we'll get you a pretty accurate number. You don't need much of a number because the number that, in theory, I lost by the margin would be 11,779. But you also have substantial numbers of people, thousands and thousands, who went to the voting place on November 3rd, were told they couldn't vote. Were told they couldn't vote because a ballot had been put in on their name. And, that's very, 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 very sad. We had, I believe it's about 4,502 voters who voted, but who weren't on the voter registration list. So it's 4,502 who voted, but they were not on the voter registration roll, which they had to be. You had 18,325 vacant address voters. They had the address was vacant, and they're not allowed to be counted. That's 18,325. Smaller number, you had 904 who only voted where they had just a PO, a post office box number. And they had a post office box number, and that's not allowed. We had at least 18,000, that's on tape. We had them counted very painstakingly. 18,000 voters having to do with Ruby Freeman. She's a vote scammer, a professional vote scammer and hustler. Ruby Freeman. That was the tape that's been shown all over the world that makes everybody look bad. You, me, and everybody else, where they got.
All right, stop right there. We'll come back. I'm going to play the whole phone call. Why? Because you're going to see a lot of headlines that say the president committed an impeachable offense and he committed a crime. And you got to hear the whole phone call. And he didn't do any of those things. He was pleading for various remedies, none of which I would give him, by the way. I haven't seen any evidence of supporting any of this, but it's a phone call. Once again, the truth on The Hugh Hewitt Show.
Portions of The Hugh Hewitt Show